This came up in the same conversation. I don't want somebody to just fill up my calendar with randos, right? And then
Exactly.
I have to do all the work.
If you wait until it's perfect, is it ever going to happen? Right. So just go do it.
I know, that's what everyone's saying.
I think, for myself, that's been one of the biggest things that I still struggle with and have for a long time is waiting for something to be finished or waiting for something to be perfect. And neither ever happens.
The only thing they regret is they wish they started sooner. Be obsessed with the sale. Be obsessed with giving value to the customer. Be obsessed with making them better.
With my passion fun for me right now. Eventually I'll get to a model where I can make money off of this, but right now it's just like, let's just try it. Okay, so here's the deal. I got a call yesterday, a little bit of background because people might see this out of the blue. So Robert and I are part of the Skool community and we have our different business functions. One of the things I focus on is providing value to business owners, consultation to increase revenue for their business. And I base it off the potential revenue that I see that business owner is missing or leaving on the table. A good example is an older electrician who has been in the business for 30 years and their CRM is essentially their phone. They have 200 customers that they continuously repeat and cycle through. They're all on first name basis, but they're kind of just within that bubble. If it's not somebody they know, chances are nobody's going to really know about them or call them. There's potential to increase with word of mouth and that sort of stuff, but they're not out there as in a Google business profile, a website, social media platform, advertising. So that's my target niche. When I see that opportunity, I take a look at their business model and I see what potential revenue they're leaving off the table. I tried this with a local electrician, who's a good friend of mine now, worked on my house before, so I already knew them. The trust was built. I started off by building a website, putting in some automation, and then letting it run for 60 days. I applied my background, which I do have an MBA and I do understand businesses. I've started them and I'm relatively decent on the technical side as well. So I knew I could make this work. I just had to prove it to him. So over 60 days, results were great. We sat down at a Starbucks at the end and I said, if you want me to continue, I need $5,000 from you per month. And my value there was, I will guarantee that you will increase your revenue by at least that much. But at least up until that point, you have all of the new customers that I brought you, you have the online blogs, the website, the Google business profile, all of that you get to keep, right? So it's kind of like whatever customers I brought you, those are going to be lifetime customers moving forward. So he thought that was really good. Didn't even negotiate. Said, yep, sign up, because I already know the 60 days that you provided me were solid. And so now what I want to do is repeat this model over and over again. I want to use this sort of platform, this moment of success, to launch into like a 10x multiple, which I think is doable. And this really started when this person from Ohio contacted me. I had some ad out there on Flippa where I was selling websites, contacted me, one thing led to another. He's like, well, what I can do is probably bring you leads and then you can convert them and pay me per lead that I bring. He wanted $350 per lead. I told him it doesn't work for me because if you give me, 20 leads, for example, I don't convert any of them. I'm just not like that much money, right? What is that, like $7,000? And so I countered, I said, the way this could work is you bring me a lead, I convert the lead, and the moment the money hits my account, the disbursement goes over to you in the form of 20%. So I charge the customer $5,000, you get 20%. And I told him that would be recurring. So for the life of the customer, you would continuously keep 20% every single month. Essentially, what you would become is a customer success manager. And you would work with this account every single week or month, right? Just stay in touch with them, make them happy, right? Ask them what issues they're having, how we can improve or upsell, and you'd be responsible for the interface of that customer. I would do the legwork, building the back end, the website, all that stuff, and making sure their business is successful. So I said, okay, he said he's going to think about it. He'll get back to me. But I don't know this person either. They're from Ohio, call me out of the blue, right? So what I want to do is open it up to folks that I kind of know and see if this would be an interesting model for somebody to take on.
Yeah, so I saw your post on Skool. I didn't read the whole thing yet. I've been a little bit distracted with something that I'm working on that's not too dissimilar. So this is really good timing. And I love what you're saying about doing the recurring, right? And what would that look like to really incentivize and have someone drive traffic? They're essentially now a commission-based salesperson. Not only are they going to, bring you leads, right? But now they have an opportunity also for, being a part of your client's success and, growing their own business and whatever that looks like for them. So I think it's a win-win for both sides. The affiliate marketing aspect is really what we're talking about. In affiliate marketing, commission, sales, there's really not too much of a difference between them. They're both kind of one and the same.
Right.
When we think about commission sales, we typically think about working for a company as a W-2 employee or, something to that effect, 1099 contractor, maybe for, commission only. But With the internet and influencers and all of the different models out there, I think the term most people are relating to lately is affiliate marketing. It's really what we're talking about. So one of the things that I've been really thinking about is how do we monetize that for us as a business, right? And also have something that's sustainable for our community that wants to be a part of that. I recently got through a class for this exact scenario because it was something that I'm interested in as well. And the 20%, I think I have my notes in this notebook right here on referral incentives.
I'm waiting for a punchline. It's like,
I already erased it. But I think that the 20%, that's like really in line with what most people are doing. The recurring part though, I think what I'm seeing is a little less on, so maybe a higher percentage up front, right? So that 20 to 30, even some people are doing 40% for the first time, and then drop that down to 10 or 15% and then pay that out recurring. So now you have a much larger incentive for somebody to actually refer quality leads, right? Because when we're sourcing out leads from the public, where's the control on that, right? And where's the guardrails?
exactly. This came up in the same conversation. I don't want somebody to just fill up my calendar with randos, right?
Exactly.
And then I have to do all the work. So there is a stage in this agreement where the salesperson is the one that's qualifying the lead. So they hop on the first Zoom call, 15 minutes, ask them all of the questions in their script, make sure they check all the boxes. So now it's qualified. Then they can put a 30-minute calendar on my appointment on my calendar. And then only the salesperson has access to my calendar, right? So it's kind of like this filter model. By the time they're here, as a qualified warm lead, as opposed to just anybody showing up, or most likely not showing up. Most people are ghosting.
And so that gives them accountability. If they're going to spend their 30 minutes interviewing this person to send to you, they want to make sure that they're talking to the right people.
Exactly.
There's a ton of lead services out there where you can just buy a list and they just go on the internet and pull them. Anybody can do that. It takes 30 seconds and you have 3,000 people that aren't your qualified prospects.
I actually have a lead generator that I created, a wrapper on Gemini that pulls these leads and has them really cleanly put into their complete data hygiene leads. I told them that I would give you the lead list because the model I have right now is it's like an electrician service that has like 2 crews, so they're relatively good and have decent revenue. It's not somebody who just got the certification license and is trying to kick on. But there has to be a balance there of what type of business this is that we're going after. And so I can replicate the leads that model fits into and provide thousands of leads for people to do their thing, right? Email blast, text blaster, whatever, call them, whatever you want to do.
So you're pre-qualifying the list by sourcing only the people that fit your criteria, sending that over to them. They get the opportunity to do their magic through that list, find the ones that are, responding, qualify them, and then send them to you. So they've gone through 3 checks at that point. So by the time they get back to you, it's probably a real possibility and you have a huge chance to close that deal. So then, something that I think about is how do we track that, right? What is the process or system to ensure that our affiliate gets paid accordingly, gets paid on time, everything is tracked? The class that I sat through, I was like, how can I have, Go High Level track this?
That's exactly what we would do. I told them you would be a member in my sub account. So you'd have complete transparency on what is happening. You'll see the invoices coming through, the communication happening, the website being generated, the phone number, call summary logs for the AI agent. You'll essentially be the customer success manager, part of my agency within that sub account.
Nice.
And then that gives you all of and so now you can move customers along the pipeline. You're essentially that salesperson running sales for me.
Awesome. Then for payment, have you figured out what does that look like to ensure that they get paid? And also what happens if you lose
client, right? So initially it's kind of like a partnership. What I offered Pete was that 30-minute call that you've already qualified and then I'm having with the client, Pete gets to be part of that. It's essentially a 3-way conversation where I'm doing majority of the talking. Pete gets to understand what is the dynamics of the conversation, how is this lead kind of turning into a deal, or just falling off the tracks, and he gets to witness exactly what happened. And then within Go High Level, as soon as the invoice hits, he'll see a $5,000 deal. And I immediately disperse 20% of that, which would be $1,000 to Pete. Now we're both committed to making sure that this customer signs up for 1 more month. Otherwise, we both lose that commission. It's fair to say that the customer would not have signed up if a lot of things were in place anyway. We are going to be successful at the end of the month and renew that customer based on what we did for them in the last 30 days. If we increase sales significantly, maybe there's room for negotiation or we can go up. If we came in below the mark, well, maybe there's a conversation there as well of, how can we make it better for the following month? Maybe we need to adjust our price down to guarantee revenue. I do have the financial backing to kind of just pay them off as well if they're like totally dissatisfied, because you might have those one-offs where they're like, you stole my money, I want all of it back. Okay, fine. Like, we have an insurance policy. Here you go. We're not trying to be scammers here. But then the folks that want to continue, I want this to be a really nice relationship where they trust us because we're providing good value. And then for our value, we're getting compensated and we move on.
Yeah. I love it. Like I said, it's something that I am working towards on my side as well. For mine, I think the idea is more on the higher setup fee and lower monthly recurring. I got the idea from the class that I just sat through, paying out the larger amount up front to help ensure that we get higher qualified leads through the funnel. We're charging $8,000 for the setup and then $800 a month for maintenance going forward. And so the percentage that I did was, I think I did 40% upfront and then 10 or 15% ongoing.
Nice.
Recurring. And that's lifetime. So you can make a chunk of change right up front, help get that customer on, that client's on. And then for the life of that client, you're making money, right? So you have a huge opportunity. There's a business model out there that is still active, although it's one of very few, a payment processing company. I'm drawing a blank on the name. They have people that are retiring off of recurring revenue from clients they've signed up over the last 20 years.
Oh, is there something like a Linktree? Is that sound familiar?
Linktree is, I don't know their business model, but that could be.
You could start a store and then add a bunch of products to your Linktree page. And then you market this page as your store or your landing page for your lead magnet. So you're on social media, you're selling toys for puppies. Somebody clicks on your Linktree, they land on your page where you have 500 pet products ready to go. All of them are affiliate links, right? So it looks like your store, they buy it from you, you get a couple of dollars every time they buy it. And if they like it, they keep coming back. So that's a recurring thing where as long as you have the social media platform, people are liking it, subscribing, they're buying off of your Linktree. I thought that's what you meant because Linktree would have the necessary distribution models in place to make sure that your commission was delivered to you.
Right. So Heartland Payment Systems, I don't know why I was drawing a blank on it. Heartland Payment Systems is the one that I'm thinking of, and they're huge. It's a huge company, and the people that I know that have worked for them for a long time, they literally take 6 months, 8 months off a year, and it's because of that recurring, ongoing commission that they've built up over time. And so, what is most sustainable and doable for the business, right? But also, profitable for the affiliate or the commission-based salesperson to want to continue that. And I think that recurring model is really where it's at. But the big question is, how do we, when you get 500 people sending you, right? Because we want to be successful, we want to grow this thing, right? So I'm not thinking, 4 or 5 people, I'm thinking hundreds of people. The platform that I just sat through is called Rootable. Rootable has the infrastructure to manage affiliate marketing in that scale. So looking at Go High Level, I didn't see a way to manage the financial part of it. I could have been missing that.
I don't know if it already has something built into that.
They have their own affiliate marketing section.
Well, actually, they do, but I need to revisit it.
I hopped on one of the Go High Level calls to ask about that, and they said it's specifically for Go High Level, not for outside. Yeah. So
I'll look into it when we jump off.
That's when I started looking around and found Rootable and essentially one of their webinars. I'll send you a link when we hop off. That's the only platform I've looked at so far. I haven't signed up or done anything with it yet because I'm still in that research phase, but we're on the same train. I think having these conversations and learning what each other finds out is huge.
Right. Are you still doing the sales course where you get people through that? Okay. That's one of your products, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you also have the website stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
So we got the Go High Level for, good morning, Sam. Great to see you, man.
Hey, Sam. Hey, Sonic. Look who it is.
Welcome from the UK.
How's it going?
How was your trip to Turkey?
Amazing, bro. Amazing. Had a really fun time.
Yeah, I spent a couple of years over there as well. My wife is actually Turkish. And so when you mentioned that, I was like, oh, this is great. You're going to have a blast.
Oh, right. Seni seviyorum.
That's right. That's right. You're basically a native at this point.
Sam, did you just go to Turkey then, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I just come back. How you been, Rob? You all right?
I'm good, man. It's good to see you.
You both got different backgrounds. You change things around. I like it.
Mine is still the same.
Oh, no, because I spoke to you when you were in the car, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I remember.
I had to make room for my pups. They're too needy, and there wasn't enough room behind me and the wall, so I had to rearrange a little bit.
It's nice. I like the lighting. The blue LEDs. Still got your alien thing.
Oh, yeah, we can't live without Alien there, so.
Definitely. What have you guys been up to?
Sonic and I were just round tabling and talking about different ways to bring in business through affiliate marketing and get the reach out and what that might look like. And And so
It's crazy that you guys are talking about that, because that I decided very recently that's the route I want to go into. So I need to get sales under my belt. That's my plan. I'm going to get things under my belt. I need to deliver it successfully, and then I'm going to go into that. I think that's my end goal. You know, I'm already a partnered YouTuber. It's just I haven't created content for 5 years. So if I create content on my YouTube now, I'll earn income off it. But I just need to completely rebrand it. I have YouTube experience and video editing and all that stuff.
when you say get sales under your belt and
Deliver it.
okay, yeah,
successfully.
and confidently
Getting
deliver it, right?
sales is one thing, but delivering it and getting a happy customer is something else, right?
Well, maybe. So my question for you is, if you wait until it's perfect, is it ever going to happen? Right? So just go do it.
I know, that's what everyone's saying.
I think, for myself, that's been one of the biggest things that I still struggle with and have for a long time, is waiting for something to be finished or waiting for something to be perfect. And neither ever happens.
It's a weakness.
Yeah,
For me,
neither ever happens. Right? So just go do it and you'll figure it out along the way. I spent probably 5-7 years thinking about and planning how I would start a business. That whole time I was thinking about it and planning, I could have just started and I'd be so much farther ahead than I am now.
you hear that from a lot of successful entrepreneurs. The only thing they regret is they wish they started sooner.
10 years ago, right?
Oh, right. I thought you meant now.
The best time
No, yeah.
is now.
Okay, I got a lot of information from you, Robert. So I'm going to keep pushing forward on the affiliate thing. It looks like Johnson's kind of interested. I chatted with David. He is another person who has a lot of sales experience as well. Oh, yeah. So your model, Robert, the way you're getting folks through the course to essentially train salespeople, right? What would be a good landing point for them is to say, hey, once you graduate my course, I will connect you with business owners that actually need salespeople. So you're landing them in a job as well. And that could be a pseudo guarantee. Like, hey, I'll give you an interview with, agency owners that need high-paying sales reps that already know that Robert can deliver good folks, right?
Each piece is tied together to serve the other. For the Go High Level, website services, originally when I started the sales training, it's expensive. There's a lot that goes into it. Not everybody can afford to pay for sales training programs. So how do we present that in a way that gets them to the point where they can afford it or have a need for it even? So I have a new client they're a successful business. They've been in business since the 60s and they have no salespeople. It's all been word of mouth. They don't necessarily have a sales team to train, but they also don't have a website. They don't have professional email. It's like they're still stuck in the 60s on this stuff. Let's get them on Fusion, Go High Level, and help them build their infrastructure, their sales funnel, and get the website to actually work for them. In this case, they don't have one. So get one that works for them and get them to the point where they start, hiring salespeople. Now they have seen success on this side of it. And now they can just jump right into the sales training as they start building their sales team. And then the sales guys get to go through the training and everything ties together. Or you got an individual sales rep that wants to take the course, right? Like you said, they can go through the course and now they have the tools and skills to crush it for another business, partnering with guys like you and Sam through Skool, having a resource for you guys to be like, hey, this cohort just finished. I got 10 guys that are needing sales positions. Huge opportunity for everybody to work together and support each other and all of us grow.
Recruiting firms also would be a good tie-in there, because recruiting firms are always looking for good talent, and the recruiters typically work off a commission from the company that's hiring them. A recruiter will make about $5,000 for every successful person they landed that job. So essentially, you could partner up with a recruiter to say, find great positions for experienced salespeople. Then the recruiter tells you the job requirements. Through your course, you literally train those folks to be great prospects for that job. As soon as they graduate, they talk to the recruiter. Recruiter's already got a job lined up. And if they crush it, which they will, because they've been trained by the best, they go in. It's a complete funnel all the way through.
That's an interesting concept, like having it basically needs kind of like a partnership, I guess, with some sort of recruiter, or ideally a startup recruiter that wants to grow themselves. That's kind of the ideal, an already made recruiter, like they've got their systems in place, that's but a startup with ambition, that's something maybe to look into. But I think that's the edge you've got, Rob, and myself share the same background in that way. When I do my affiliate thing, my plan is, I think my edge is like Jasper, obviously, we're all under Jasper, right? Like Jasper does his 2 calls a week or whatever. My plan is to be more like my courses of Skool will include a section on how to sell, both on the phones and door to door. because I've actually worked for a door-to-door agency and I've worked from the bottom and then next to the senior point where I'm really at the top with the owner, I've even taught leaders how to train leaders. I look at even the community we're in, and other go high level, I think the biggest weakness people's got is sales. Everybody's got the go attitude to work and build, but sales is the weakness. That's the edge I can give. That's my plan.
We absolutely need more people with sales experience that know what the heck they're talking about in a, how do I say, non-shady, right?
Yeah, of course. Not aggressive, traditional salesperson.
Someone with ethics and morals that wants to help people succeed, right? And so we certainly need more people like you to help with that.
Consultative selling is kind of like my way of selling, needs of the customer, value, pain points, questioning, listening is even more important.
Right. It's all about them, right? It has nothing to do with you, the product, or the company. It's what do they need, right? What is their goal? And if you have a product and service that aligns with that, then great. That's a perfect fit. But if you don't, and you're just trying to sell them something they don't need, want, or desire, then what are you doing? It's not sustainable.
Be obsessed with the sale. Be obsessed with giving value to the customer. Be obsessed with making them better. That's the problem. A lot of people trying to sell.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. What else is going on with you guys? So Sonic, your Skool community, you inspired me. I'm shifting gears from the platform I was on. When I started that platform, I didn't know a lot about Skool, but I hadn't been on there. I had to pick one, so I picked the one that I like. What I'm finding though is Skool is much more intuitive, although the platform I'm on is more advanced and suited for some things I thought were needed. I'm realizing it adds an extra layer of complication that's not needed. And when I'm on Skool platform, it's easy and intuitive for somebody just starting out, learning one of these platforms. I like the layout. I started mine on Skool recently, just a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to build it out there and shift gears over to Skool. A big part of that was seeing how you had yours laid out, and Jasper, one of my coaches, is also on Skool. With your setup and how you're laying everything out on Skool, what are your thoughts? You started yours like 2 months ago, 3 months ago?
Yeah, basically. So one, it's kind of like identifying the need, right? I landed in Jasper's vault and there's 1,600 people in there now. Usually I see about 25 to 50 people online on a good day. So I question that full number. I don't know if that's 1,600 active members or 1,600 total members that have touched the platform at any one point. And admin would have to remove that number. What I wanted this platform to be, at least my aspiration was, come over here and then you find other folks that are like-minded entrepreneurs, and then they build each other's businesses like the three of us are talking about right now. Like, oh, you have a skill set? Oh, I have a skill set? Let's help each other and then launch, right? And I didn't get a lot of that. I'm trying to help by adding a lot of that value because of my background and the experience that I have, but I didn't see it there. And I certainly didn't want to change the model by any means. I try not to promote myself or anything to that effect. But what I did was, hey, let me create a separate Skool community. And now we have 34 people in there. And the goal is to get new entrepreneurs support from experienced entrepreneurs, right? So if somebody's new, they may not have some of the basic layouts, right? Or I just mean new into business. So they could start and say like, hey, I have a really good idea. I want to run it to ground, but I don't want to be like a solo entrepreneur. I don't even know how to go register a business. I don't know what an EIN number is. I don't know what articles of formation are. I don't know if this is legal in my state. How do I do those kinds of things? And then there's the aspects of the technical. Okay, so how do I create a website? Or how do I advertise on Facebook? How do I set up a phone number? How do I set up a call center? And so all of these things that come natural to somebody like you and I on how to build that business, other folks just don't have that. They don't have the money to pay somebody either to do it. So I just want it to be completely free. I built out 31 courses for anybody to basically start a service. You want to start your lawn care business? You don't have a clue how to begin? Where do you get your first lawnmower? How do you get your first customer? And we walk through all that. How do you do market research, history business? Where do you get your lawnmower? How do you set up clients? How do you charge them? All of that. So kind of go through. And what happens is that natural progression for that business ties into Jasper's community, because at some point they're going to need those online services like a website, accounting, workflow, invoicing. And so then it makes a direct tie to what we were talking about earlier into the community that Jasper has. The Skool community that I have is focused mainly on entrepreneurs getting better at their trade craft. And then what I do is I try to provide a lot more value to my community with automations in place. So like the lead scraper that I was talking about earlier, folks are paying like 50 cents to $1 per lead. It's mind blowing. And I'm like, why? You can literally do it for free. So I just built a wrapper that has a Gemini background. You come in there, you put your niche, you put how many leads you want, and it actually pulls qualified, like data hygiene leads that you can export into an Excel document. I don't know if you've ever bought some leads before, but I've had some bad experiences where it's like, okay, give me 10,000 leads. And then every other block is empty, not applicable, phone numbers, formats all over the place. And you can't really import that into something like a text blaster or SendGrid easily. So what I did was just put another layer into it, super easy, to just do the data hygiene first. I said, only return when you have all of the key aspects of that row. Otherwise, skip it. So basically, it's like completely filled out rows, all formatted to look like a phone number with parentheses, phone number dash phone number kind of thing. And it's completely free. So people can just come and use that.
So what's an example when you got 10 grand of leads, like when you did that filtering, actually how many was actually good leads?
Yeah, exactly. It might be like 5%, if that.
What?
Yeah, I was going to say 1 to 2%.
Yeah, exactly.
How could you get a refund?
You know, these are people like on Fiverr, and it was a while ago, so I don't do that anymore.
All right. Okay,
Now
okay.
The bad part is those people are still on Fiverr and they're still offering that same level of crap, right?
Right.
So having your system available, we just got to get the word out that, hey, you don't have to go onto Fiverr and hire somebody for, 50 cents a lead and get nothing for that. You can do it yourself. The platform's already done. You key in your information, right? So getting people the awareness of that so that they can actually use it.
I'm just going to show you. I'm going to do a live demo.
Ooh, I like live demos.
Me too.
I'm going to show you the lead scraper for sure, but I'm also going to start off with my pitch. Do you know what all the rage is these days? These days is AI agents that people are developing. That's my intro. Can you see my screen?
Is that how you're promoting yourself at the minute?
Can you guys see my screen? Or is that
Yeah.
Okay, so this is AgentRage.com. Okay, so I'm like so stoked about this.
I can see your.
Oh, you're seeing the wrong one. Psh, dang it. Start it again.
What's wrong? What happened?
Because I went to the wrong screen. I was so dumb. Okay, shit. Do you see where AI agents earn their worth?
Yes.
Okay, this is the
Dude,
site.
this Agent
Okay, so
Rage, this is
I
amazing.
know you guys are probably tracking that I build these automations, right? And then I provide them to people free of charge. Is my passion and fun for me right now. Eventually, I'll get to a model where I can make money off of this, but right now it's just like, let's just try it. I offered this thing where I said, hey, tell me what leads you want. I'm testing out different automations. And whatever is the byproduct of that, I'll just give it to you because I don't really need the leads right now. I said, well, all of these lead generators out there want to charge you like $50 a pop or $50 a month or whatever. So I built my own and it's super easy. It's free. And then I made a lead generator where it was like pay-as-you-go model. So essentially it's called bring your own key, which means you can go to these LLMs like, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, bring your API key from them, come over here, plug in your key. So that way you're the one being charged. It's kind of like putting in your credit card and then let the AI agent run your model, generate the results, and then you're off. Instead of paying like $50, Jasper pays $150 for 100,000 leads. And if he did something like this, it'd probably end up being like $30, for example, maybe even less, like $20 to do the same thing. And you'd get better results, right? First of all, the value is there. So then I kind of upped it from there and I said, okay, what else can I build? And so I built different kinds of automations, an article text summarizer, audio documentary creator. Give it an idea of any kind of niche. It'll go off to 11 labs, create the script, build a documentary style. And you can have the National Geographic person, the old guy, I think everybody knows, kind of talk about your stuff. And then it just provides you an audio file.
APIs, or do you use Zapier or something?
These are all APIs. Yeah, great question. These are APIs to reach out to those different models.
So you learn how to do that? That takes coding and stuff, right?
But like these tools that are like Cursor, Base44, Lovable, all of these do it for you now. So it's a lot easier than it was even like 2 years ago. Anybody could really do this. Instead of me just creating all these AI agents for people to come and then become a bottleneck, why don't I just create a platform where people can build their own agents, right? So you can come here, for example, into the studio, and then you can in 3 steps, you build an agent. You give it a name, the description, and then the meat of it is the prompt itself. You tell the agent what it's designed to do, what it's supposed to be doing. And then I also have some examples where you can just pull them in. Like this one, for example, is an SEO blog post writer. So you say, use this, and then you have the prompt already. It's literally built for you. And you pick the tools that you told the prompt it needed to use. If you told the prompt like, hey, first go to Gemini, get this thing, then go to Twilio and make a phone call, then go to SendGrid and send an email, and then go to Google Calendar and book the appointment. Well, then what you do is you give it the tools that it needs, and the tools are down here. So if you eat Google, OpenAI, Anthropic, Mistral, right, Cohere, they're all here. So you click on that, and then you say, hey, for communication, I needed you to send an email, so let me make sure you have that. I need you to send text messages and call people, need that. Maybe you needed to post your Slack or whatever. So basically, pull in a bunch of tools that can complete the agent's request. And then you just hit publish.
I think we've lost him.
Look at the competition. Put a leaderboard out there. Every time somebody runs your agent, they get to either upvote it or downvote it. Kind of like Reddit, right? So if you upload it, it goes to the top of the list. If you get 100 different people to use your agent and upload it, you can monetize your agent. Now this agent is really important. The word's getting out, like we're doing some fantastic things for you. People come in and buy credits on the platform in order to use your agent. It still costs them like maybe $1 or a few cents to run it, but now it's being monetized. And 90% of it goes to you as a person who developed the agent, right? And so I thought this would be really cool. I had a community built as well, very similar to, this is just a placeholder right now. Same thing as Skool. I basically just copied whatever they provide. You'll have a top contributor.
What did you use for this? Lovable? To make story?
This one's base 44. Yeah.
Right.
And then you have a leaderboard. This is people all around the world, obviously, that are going to be part of this thing. And then challenges.
Is this live yet? Is it?
AgentRage.com. That's what all the rage is. And it's all about the domain, right? Like you have to get on there. You know, there's a lot of cool names out there, like Agent. I can't remember what they were, but they were like $9,000 for a domain. I'm like,
Right.
I like the idea, but
That much.
maybe later. So AgentRage is pretty good, and it's a .com. I can't complain about that.
Dude, that's really, it's unique. I think it's clever and it suits what you've put together.
So to make it super easy, I also
That's from Go High Level?
This is not Go High Level. This is backed by Gemini. So this is a legitimate LLM that you can speak with, and it can essentially build out your agent for you as well. You can just tell it like, hey, give me the prompt. You know, here are the requirements. Copy and paste it here, and just communicating with Gemini directly. The other thing I wanted to show you though is all of your API keys. This is for like the security buffs out there. My background is cybersecurity. That's what I did for years, and that's what I do. So we want to make sure that your API key is not being out on the internet somewhere. So this key stays on your computer, and that's where it gets stored. So it never goes to AgentRage. AgentRage is not storing your key by any means. This is all client side. This is what meets all of the NIST standards out there today. So it's a secure site. And all of your agents, all of your API keys would be over here. Right? So,
Really cool, Sonic.
yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
Amazing. Unbelievable, actually. It's unbelievable.
I'm super stoked about this. I want to share it with the community also because it's essentially like a marketplace where it's peer-to-peer now. Right? A user can come build their own agent, and then other users can come and use your agent. And the community decides whether your agent is good or not. You know, if it sucks, it gets downvoted into oblivion. If it's amazing, it moves up, and then ultimately you're monetizing. And it wouldn't take much to monetize, right? Let's say you have a following of 10 or 50,000 people on YouTube. You come over here, build an agent, share it with your community. Everybody comes in and uses it. You just need 100 people to use it. 10 times each, 1,000 total runs gets you to monetization. People would come over here, buy their own credits, and then they could use it. You buy packages like 100 credits, $10. And it's all based on the amount of usage you would get as well. So there's a little bit of fluctuation there. I'm not totally sure what LLMs charge. It's always like this nebulous thing of tokens.
Right.
We don't really know until that turns into money. The last thing I'll show you is when you click on this, it runs a quick check to see if your API keys have been populated. If they're not, like this one, you would need 11 labs. So you just hit go to API key setting. And then in here, you'd have 11 labs. You click the key, it would take you to 11 labs. You set up your account, you get your own key, come over here, plug it in, hit save. And now you have the key to run that AI tool. That's how that would work. And then you go back here and run the AI tool. But here's the lead scraper. I got too excited. I didn't even show you this. Continue to agent. So all it needs is my Gemini key here. And basically, you know, let's say like, I want dentists in where? Orlando, Florida. Okay, format doesn't really matter. And then I want to test. So what this should do, like, is come up with the list. And then I have the option of exporting this. So let's say I want to take it out in CSV. Click on that.
This is probably what the scrapers do, right?
Oh, yes.
More or less.
Okay, now here's what I was talking about. Complete list. For all you lead sellers out there, just do this and you're going to dominate your market. Just provide value in every single one. Now look at the formatting. Beautiful. If you have something like a text blaster that can import CSVs, all you need to do is delete these other columns and import the CSV file. It knows exactly how to read every single phone number top to bottom.
Amazing. Really cool.
I'll pause
Good
there.
job, man.
Awesome.
I'm gonna be using that for sure.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, do it. AgentRage.com. And that's what I told Pete from Ohio. I don't know if you got the backstory, Sam, but basically this person wants to sell my product, and then we agreed on a 20% commission, and that's what they get. So they asked me, do I bring my own leads or do you provide leads? And I'm thinking in my mind, leads are basically free now. So I was going to provide the leads. I'll give them a list of all the electricians in the USA that fit my model. And then that's the list that he would run down and try to qualify and then ultimately book with me and try to close them.
Nice. What did you go with it? Are you going ahead with it or what?
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with anybody doing it. So basically, that's kind of the impetus of this conversation, because I know Robert's heading into sales. I was like, I want to talk to salespeople who think this model would work, and then mainly any salesperson who's interested, do it. Think of it as like an affiliate marketing service where when there's $5,000 coming in, you get 20%. That's recurrent for the life of that account. As long as that customer is happy, you and I are basically partners. You keep that customer happy, I make sure I deliver on the product, and we make sure they renew every single month for the life of the account. You get your commission.
I've just noticed there's some pro ones already. That's not created by you, it's created by others, isn't there? There's others here.
Yeah, sorry. So because it's so new, I'm still in development. The front part is kind of just for show, if you will. It's got to look like a website that's like there. Somebody didn't make it in their, basement of the C++ or something. So don't click on those ones. Just on top, hit explore, and then
Yeah, I see that. Where are you pulling off these other ones? These other agents, the pro agents, basically. Where are
they're
they
just
coming from?
placeholders. It's just like a fake icon. They're not a real thing.
So that's like what you potentially want it to look like on the page.
Exactly. What I'm going to do,
Yeah.
what I'm going to do later today actually is I'm going to take 6 of the ones that I made and then put them on the homepage and make them look all pretty. So the next time you visit and you click on it, it's going to be a legit agent. Right?
Where did you get this website design? Looks so familiar. Like, did you get inspired from Salesforce or something? It looks so similar to this style.
That's a very common theme now. Sleek, modern, white background, glassy is like a key that you can kind of plug in there a little bit. A lot of people were copying Airbnb for a long time. So you might kind of get it in there. Also,
I really
Apple
like
does
it. I like that design. Yeah, Apple does that sort of style as well, right?
Yeah.
Great job.
Cool, man.
As impressive as Rob's AI agent.
What was
LinkedIn, right? You made one as well, Rob. Oh, go ahead, Sam.
Rob's got a amazing sales AI agent.
Oh.
How's that going, Rob? That's amazing. I even had a friend who doesn't even do sales, and he's thinking about creating something. You're way behind, bro. I already know somebody who's got one pretty much done, and I'm sure there's loads of others that are doing it.
It's turned out really amazing. Version 1, that's live on the Slack, is just really cool the way it is with all the limitations that it has. But version 2 that I just ran a bunch of tests on, you can hold whole conversations with it now where it's going to role play with you through a scenario that you ask about. The context, the aware aspect, right, where it's remembering the previous conversations, not just that you had recently within that thread, but it remembers through a series of databases. It can recall conversation that you had a month ago and track your progression of the coaching over time to make sure that you're actually making progress.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's what you want. That's a real coach for you.
Yeah,
That's what a coach
exactly,
is,
right? And then the thing that I just, really, really excited about is that, for me on version 1, to seed it with information and knowledge around different sales methodologies and techniques and processes and frameworks, I have to manually go in and do that. And everybody gets the same information, right? So version 2 allows for companies and individuals to seed it themselves with just a simple, drag and drop, where they can take their proprietary information and upload it to a secure. And actually, Sonic, I was thinking about you the other day when I was going through this, and security, obviously, for proprietary data is going to be a huge part, right? We got to make sure this stuff's secure, especially after. That's how I came across that YouTube video I was just telling you about. It's like, how do we make this stuff secure? Any company or individual can upload their own frameworks, their own proprietary data, and Talo can reference that in their own private conversations, either in a group setting where you got basically group coaching with Talo, or individuals. So you have your sales team out there with each of them having their own conversations. The leadership team can track their progress and see how they're doing on the role plays and their progression over time. It's turning out really cool. A guy yesterday actually just reached out about one of the aspects for it. How do we get this in the hands of more people, right? Licensing it is going to be a huge part of this business model. He's like, man, I was thinking about creating something myself, and I heard you were doing this, and was it worth it? I'm like, well, it depends. It's a lot of time.
You worked months on that, right? You did it for a while.
Way longer than months. But the cool thing is he can now just license this and slap his own name on there, white label it, instead of Talo, he can call it whatever he wants, and he can have this for his team. He doesn't have to spend a year and a half creating it. It's already done. And yeah, having Skool and I think the biggest thing for Skool and why, circling back to Sonic, your experience so far over the last couple months, something I've seen right away is that compared to Heartbeat is amazing and a very powerful platform. It's not as entrepreneurial and business focused. And that's the thing that's missing over there. I'm all about sales, business, and bringing people together. Skool ticks both of those boxes, community and entrepreneurship business. Although it doesn't have some of the features that Heartbeat does, it doesn't need it. It's intuitive and it's easy to use. So I'm skipping
It's really good. Yeah, I like it too. There's certain improvements that could be made to Skool for sure, where you could have a collaborative space, right? You could have integrated Zoom, for example. People want to just go from a direct private chat into a Zoom call. Like we don't need to go to the third party, set up an appointment.
And that's what Heartbeat has, right?
Yeah. So how much does Heartbeat charge for a channel owner?
I think I pay like $120 a month.
Basically, we could build something better than Skool, but has all of the features of Skool. You know, the gamification of it is really neat. It now is integrated with Google Pay as well, so all the funds get delivered quickly. There's a couple, and that's what I would like to see from Skool really is show me a roadmap. Like, hey, in 6 months, we're going to have this other feature that you guys can have. In 12 months, we're going to have this other feature you can have, all included, because that's what keeps the customers there.
Right.
Folks, Jasper, he could send out one link and say, hey guys, we're moving to Heartbleed. Join me there if you want your subscriptions to continue. And then boom, 1,500 people or 1,600 people are off Skool instantly. If you convince people like Jasper to say, hey, stick around. We're going to provide a collaborative workspace included in your subscription where people like the three of us are working on something. We're going to integrate with Zoom. You'll open up into this with a whiteboard ready to go. So you guys can start brainstorming. When you close it, all of that gets saved with a link in your Skool community. So you're not adding data to the platform. You just provide a link like they do for YouTube. And then it gets uploaded to YouTube. And then you might have a channel connected to your Skool account as well. We could do so many more things.
Hearing that thought process right there, combining what Skool has with what Heartbeat has and just creating that, I'd be totally down for some more conversations. The accessibility, right, with the platforms now, and certainly with AI, anybody can go on to Base 44 or these other platforms and learn how to prompt the platform to create what's in your mind without ever having to specialize. You still have to learn code, right? You got to understand it, right? But you don't have to be a specialist in it. You don't have to be an expert in it anymore. And that is opening up the world to millions of people that have had these ideas floating around in their head for 15 years, but didn't have a means to get it out. So it's pretty amazing.
We could build that pretty easily, Robert. That's super easy. Just the website that I showed you, AgentRage.com, their community section is a copy of what Skool provides. So it has all the features already just on one page of that website. So the other ones are basically just an add-on. And especially if we make a dedicated Skool community, Skool, you know, don't tell Alex Hormozy, Skool 2 is coming out, but we'll basically have all of the other features as well. Start off with a free model, get thousands of people to show up, and then instantly you're a success.
Did you guys recently take up this offer before it expired? I missed it.
The books?
No, not the books. Basically, the Skool was what, $9 a month. I think you get the full feature for 3 months, something like that.
So on his last launch, $100 million frameworks or
Whatever it was.
part of it was to open up Skool community for free for 90 days. After 90 days, it's $9 a month. I don't remember the exact terms.
I'm still on the free model.
Oh, I was on holiday. I'm a bit annoyed I missed it. It's a cheap offer from what he offered. It's got $9.99 plan.
I'm sure there's a way to access it. You know, Alex Hormozy, I'm really impressed with his business savvy, his ideas, and the way that he is structuring things.
Smart dude.
He was homeless. You know that? He used to be homeless.
Yeah, I saw a lot of his videos.
But I'm sure, you know, he's not about, you know, sticking it to the, you know, public. You know, I truly believe he genuinely wants people to succeed and wants to help. Everything about him seems legit and on the up and up compared to, you know, some of the other influencers out there that, you know, that they're 100% in it for themselves and it's all about them. It's all about the dollar for Hormozy too, right? Don't get me wrong. The guy wants to make money.
He even says it. He said, I'm in it for the business. He makes it clear, but I like his style. It's so chill as well. I like that about him.
Hey, I got to run, guys. Great to see you both.
You do this every Friday, right?
Yeah, every Friday, 8 o'clock.
Right. I'll be back.
This is the first time you joined Sonic as well?
Yeah. I always used to connect with Robert.
I'll be back
like,
too.
the timing was perfect.
Awesome.
Right.
Have a great weekend and we'll see you in the schools.
Thanks, Robert. Thanks,
Awesome.
Sam.
Cheers, Rob. Cheers, Sonic. See you in a bit.